finally at the end of the paper, question 9, and this is a question all about logarithms. So first bit, they just ask us, we've got to use logarithms. Now they've told us what we've got to do, so we're going to have to show that method. So here it'd be sensible to use log to base 2, as we've got a 2 on this side, so that would give us 3x equals log to base 2, 5, which would then give us x is log to base 2, 5, all divided by 3. They actually told us it's 3 significant figures, so we just put that into our calculator. So it's 0.73976, which to 3 significant figures is 0.774. So you must show your method to use logarithms. Right, then we get on to the ones where we've got to use our log laws that you need to have learnt. So we've got log to base AK minus log to base A2 is 2/3, and we've got to get to A equals. Right, what do we know? There's a minus in the middle, so that means we can write that as a single log. Log to base AK divided by 2 is 2/3. Okay, what would be sensible now? We can get rid of that log with A to the power, so that's equivalent to K over 2 equals A to the power 2/3. Now you might think you're there, but the question says it wants A in terms of K. So we've got A to the 2/3 equals K over 2. So we need to get rid of those powers. So the first thing is we've got 2/3, so that's going to, if we did A cubed to both sides, that would get rid of that divide by 3. So here if we did cubed, and we'd end up with A squared equals K over 2 cubed. Now then we've got a couple of choices. You've got A squared, so you can write the inverse of that as dividing by 2 as a power, so a half, so 3 times a half is 3 over 2. Or you could think, okay, so that's K over 2 cubed, and the opposite of squared is square root. Either of those would be fine. Right. Okay, so there's part B. So then we're going to move on to part C. Okay, part C, first of all now, asks us to use the binomial expansion or otherwise. So you don't have to use the binomial expansion, you could just multiply out all those brackets if you wish to. That's a possibility. So the binomial expansion is on page 4 in your book, if you forget it, but really we're just going to follow the pattern. So in this case, if you have a look here, we've got A equals 1, B equals 2x, and n equals 3. So we start off by doing A to the power of n, so that's 1 cubed, and then we just don't really think about it, we just follow the pattern. So we start out with 3, 1, then times 1, power goes down on A, and now we introduce B, which was 2x, plus follow the pattern. So now it's 3c2, so the 1 goes to 2, the power goes down on A, so that's 1 to the power 1, and the power goes up on B. Then we could just follow the pattern, so that's 3c3, power goes down on A, so that's 1 to the power 0, so it's gone, and the power goes up on B. Now we're at B to the n, so we stop. We've also got 3 choose 3, so we stop. There's lots of ways to know we stop. The A's gone, the B's cubed. Now we use our calculator to work this out. So 1 cubed is 1, then we've got a plus. Now 3c3 in your calculator, you go 3, hold on, sorry. In your calculator, we're going to go 3, let's see, 1, like that, and which will tell us the answer is 3. So we've got this notation here, which means in your calculator 3c1. So that's 3 times 1 times 2. So that's 6x. Now 3c2 is also 3, so we've got 3 times 1, and the 2 squared, so that's 4. So 3 times 4 is 12x squared. Every time you get a plus, you stop and work out the next number. 3c3 is actually 1, and 2 cubed is 8, so plus 8 cubed. Okay, that was C part 1. So we've got as our answer 1 plus 6x plus 12x squared plus 8x cubed. Right, so we're going to move on to part 2. Now it's a part 1 and a part 2. There's a strong possibility we might be using that in our answer to help us out. Okay, so once again, forming and solving a quadratic equation. Right, so we've got quite long logs going on here. So 1 plus 2n cubed minus 8n equals. Now if you look at this side, we've got 2 logs on this side, so a single log. They are added, so that means we can write that as a single log with those 2 things multiplied. Okay, now we have a single log on both sides. That means the thing in the brackets, so here we've got log here, must be the same. So 1 plus 2n cubed minus 8n must equal 1 plus 2n times 1 plus n squared. Let's see, do we spot anything? Well, 1 plus 2n cubed is the same as what we've done above, except with an n instead of an x. So let's multiply that out. So that's 1 plus 6n, make sure we're using the right letters. 1 plus 6n plus 12n squared plus 8n cubed, minus 8n on that side. This side, let's move the 4 to the front and then multiply those brackets. So 1 times 1 plus 2n times 1 plus 1 times n squared plus 2n times n squared. Okay, on this side we can start. Now it's just a case of tidying things up. So we're just going to tidy everything up, put everything on one side, and you should eventually get to 8n squared minus 10n minus 3 equals 0. Which you can factorise, or you could use your calculator if you can't factorise it. So that's 4n plus 1, 2n minus 3 equals 0. So we get n equals minus a quarter, or 3 over 2. That is the answer, but it is always with log questions worth just checking by putting both of these values back into the original and making sure that you don't get either log 0 or log of a negative, because remember that's impossible, we can't do log of 0 or log of a negative number.